trying to level the ground up.
Yeah. You've got to get your deck chair in the right position, don't you, Lucky? This is how old farts go hunting. You sit in deck chairs and wait for the deer to turn up. And Lockie's not happy. His chair's on about a 5-degree angle. I know bugger all, but it's got to give him something to do. Turn it over. No, show the blade. No, turn it the other way. Oh. Yeah, this is Lockie's knife. Well, this is definitely what you call a small one. Lockie had had enough. He went home, and an hour and a half later, this one popped out. So, and this is only a yearling hind, and she's tiny, and this is the best time to go hunting. In fact, this week, whether it's sika hunting or red deer hunting, whatever, young ones get kicked out by their mothers, and are easy pickings. And this one's been kicked out by mum, and paid the price. So I got COVID. Lockie gave me COVID last trip, and oh man, am I suffering. I got just zero, yeah, my lungs are just absolute crap. I'm puffing, so more than normal. So fortunately this is a nice small one to carry home. Well, my groups are getting better. One shot here, and the other shot there. Not bad at 213 yards. No wonder I didn't want to run too far. Well, that's how small it is. I got it all in the bag. That includes with the leg bones. I didn't take them out. And that's all that's left. Didn't take the ribs this time because a few too many holes in it. So, okay, this is what short grass looks like. See how tiny it is? Tiny. And yeah. So that's the short grass part, and I'll see if I can find some long grass on the way home. And this is actually long grass. You might think it's short, but that's actually long. Of course, it can grow a lot longer than that, but you see there's a big difference between that and the other stuff just a bit further along. And that's what I mean about you sit opposite the clearing with the shortest grass, i.e. not this bit. Well, this hunting with COVID's no great shake, I can tell you. I walked up that, was it 10 days ago, carrying the red and the fellow picket, and no problem at all. It's only a small bump, but oh man, am I out of breath. And I didn't really have COVID that bad. So, anyway, the thing you got to learn is that spring only goes from 7th of November to the 30th of November. It is the best time to go hunting, especially if you want to go chase reds. Reds or secret, doesn't matter. You can't ignore biology. The hinds are kicking the young ones out, that's why I got this one today. Been kicked out by mum. So whereas 10-12 days ago, we were here about the 9th, you're hunting both the hinds and the offspring, and now Locke and I saw yesterday we saw 2 hinds separately with offspring, but today none, and today's the 24th, so it is the best time. If you go and seek a hunting, you can add another 2 weeks. So between now, reds are between the 7th and the 30th. Seeker between the 7th of November and probably about the 15th of December. I shot pregnant hinds, seeker hinds, on the 21st of December. But yeah, that's pretty rare. Normally they've had them by about the middle of December. And then the next best time to go hunting is about the middle of February to the middle of March, except for here. Here is, if it's a bloody drought, don't bother. That's awful. But seeker hunting, yeah, that's fabulous. And that's the best time to go chasing seeker stags, is that 15th of February through the 15th of March. And yeah, it will be summer, literally in a week's time, not even that, 6 days. And it's just on the brink of wind being slightly cold, and to it being stinking bloody hot. And we'll see how Lockie gets on. Maybe we come back in December, but I'm trying to avoid January and February in this place because it's just too bloody hot. Plus it's game fishing season, so yeah. Anyway, try and pull my finger out. Bear's only just over there. Right. How's that, Lockie? Yep. Hey?
200 yards from camp.
Yep. Camp's those trees over there. I think you're stretching the 200, Lockie. It might even be closer. It's always better when you can do you don't break the 400 metre rule.
Yeah.
And so what happened?
No, I was standing with you, standing always.
Yeah.
Looking over there, and next moment I turn around. Can't see through those trees.
Yeah.
And then it was feeding same time.
Yeah.
Walking. It's a red. Boom, bang, and it flinched, and then they start walking here. So I gave him another shot, but I think I missed. He fell over anyway. I didn't want to get into those trees.
No. And where'd you hit it?
Just there.
Oh, you're excelling yourself. Yeah. Not in the guts this time.
No, just there. Lung shot.
Lung shot, yeah.
Lung shot. Yep.
Oh dear. Yeah. Well, yeah, it just goes to prove that you can still get them even when you're full of COVID.
Yeah.
All right, I better put this down there and give you a hand. Right, Lockie, tell the story.
I've been slept all day, and then there was at 3 o'clock. I went up there and have a look. Sat there for about a couple of hours. Nothing. Oh, bugger it. I come back for a cup of tea. Had a cup of tea. Oh, Jesus. It's only 7:30. I better go for another walk on this way then. Shall I bring the knife? Nah. Shall I bring a pack? Nah. Bring a plastic bag? Nah, I'm not going to get nothing. All I took was a jacket. Went there, stood there where you always stand. And next one, look up the hill. Oh, there's a bloody red standing, feeding. So I sat down and aimed at it, bang, and then I went, took one step backward, and then I started walking up again. I said, shit, I don't want to get into the scrub and look for it. So I fired another shot. I missed.
Yeah.
By the time I got there, he was stone dead. It was a lung shot.
Yeah. It said something out to the guts.
It came out as the gut. Voila. Cheers, no tomorrow.
Yeah, and we're now back at the hut at bloody 5 to 9. Well, congratulations on getting through the video. Now we'll share a few more tips which are not actually obvious on the video. And the reason why I put this particular hunt in was because you guys are going to say, are these guys for real? They sit there and go hunting sitting in deck chairs, and one sleeps all day and gets up and goes 140 yards from camp, but he shoots a deer. So they're shooting deer left, right and centre, and you guys are inexperienced, have been running around the bush for 2 years and struggled to get your first deer. And the reason why I put it in is not to be a show-off, but to illustrate the difference in tactics. And that's the real reason why we are successful going for that spot. We have a different approach to the hunting that a lot of the other hunters will go there and have. Most of the people are spook and shoot. They'll walk up through the clearings and thinking that is the great way to do it. But the reality is that the wind at the bottom of the gully is too fickle. And so there's a lot of issues with wind. If you've got katabatic wind, it's cold, the wind's descending, the air's descending, and you get wind upstairs, the clouds are going roughly in the downstream direction, then the wind in the bottom of the gully will go downstream, and it'll be reasonably consistent. But that's about the best you can describe it. There will be the odd patch where the wind goes the wrong way. If you got katabatic wind where the air is descending and the clouds are coming from the downstream end and going that way, you've got two opposing air masses, if you like. You've got the air trying to come down here and the wind trying to go up that way. And so what you end up with is wind that's going backwards and forwards, so you'll get wind in your face, and then all of a sudden you'll get wind up your ass. And those conditions, you are on a hiding to nothing. If you're in a situation where it's during the day, it's anabatic wind conditions, so the wind's trying to go up the hill, and the wind's coming from the downstream end, that's the clouds, then you'll get reasonably consistent wind in the direction it goes. But still exactly the same problem. You'll get, in that case you'd want to be coming from the top and coming down, and you'll get wind in your face, and then all of a sudden it blows to your side, blows that way. So hunting in the bottom of the gully, it's really, in those sorts of conditions, it's really hard to get the wind perfect, because of this going backwards and forwards. The other thing is that your event horizon, how far you can see. Places you can see 140 yards, and others 10. So let's call it 80 is the average. That's only a short distance. When you're sitting up on the side of a hill like I'm doing, I can see 330 yards that way and 230, 270 yards that way. So about 600 yards is my event horizon. And any deer moving there or here, I'm going to see. Whereas if you're entering the clearings from over there and you're walking through, it's going to take you, I don't know, 20 minutes to walk through. You know, you're not tramping with a rifle, you're hunting, remember. And you can only see the first bit, and then when you get into this one, you can only see this one, and then when you get into the next clearing, you can only see that one. Well, because your event horizon is so short, and the problems with the wind as well, a deer might be here, and you're over there, and you're basically not going to see it. The deer on this particular spot, most of the time they are just going across the clearing. They're not actually feeding and staying there for any length of time. Most of the time it's somewhere between 30 seconds and a minute and a half to shoot them. That's why it's pretty hard to set up the cameras and film it and all that sort of stuff. So if you've got such a short time, right, if you're way down there, are you going to be able to see it? Well, this may take you 10 minutes to do the first clearing. And you go, oh, no, the deer's gone. Right? So when you're sitting up on the side of the hill and you can see a big event horizon, anything that moves, right, I can't see all the clearing down there, I can see some of it. I can see most of these bits, right? And I'm sitting right on top of a place which concentrates the deer. So that creek that I'm talking about, where it goes through a chasm, is down here, and the deer can't cross it. Right? So the deer have to, down there, if they want to go over there, they have to walk up this sort of flat on this side and hop across the creek right below where I'm actually sitting. So that's an example of where relief, in this case the creek, concentrates the deer. There's one other place I've talked about in the past where that happens, and where the relief concentrates the deer. That's when you have a saddle and a ridge, because the deer will walk a long way horizontally to go through that saddle rather than go straight up and over and down the other side. They can do it, it's easy for them, but they will take the easiest route, which is the least amount of climbing. So that's a situation where the relief concentrates the deer, just like here. So the tactic of sitting and sit and snipe rather than speed and shoot is for two reasons, right? The fact that you can see a long way, right? And it's actually three. You're not moving and making a lot of noise and disturbing the place. And the other one is to do with scent control and the wind. Because I'm elevated, I'm up here, right? To do it this way, right? So the creek's here and the clearing's here, and I'm sitting up here. To the deer over there, my scent is elevated, right? So if you imagine if I just took away the hillside, I'm here at this point in space effectively, and the wind that's in the bottom of the gully is moving around at ground level, whereas my scent up here is actually staying elevated. So in the example of the first deer that I shot in this video, where it's mucking around in the shade of that tea tree, it's on the top of a clear patch, right? And I'm up here, right? The creek's in the middle, and the wind's going up the valley this way. So you've got an old question, where's the deer getting its air from, right? Well, the air comes up and it goes this way, right? Straight into the deer. So if you were down ground level, the deer up here is going to smell you. When you're up here, when I was lining up to shoot it, the air was coming from directly behind my ears. So you would think that my air was going straight to the deer. It's not. This air coming up like this forces this air up that way. Right? So elevated air stays elevated. It's not 100% golden rule, but it is pretty good. If the wind is coming this way and it's coming along the face that I'm sitting on, and it goes around the corner this way, and there's deer over here, that deer's going to smell me. It's going to know that I'm there. because to it, I'm not elevated, I'm ground level. But to the deer on the other side of the hillside, I'm elevated scent, and my scent's gone that way, they're not going to know that I'm there. So I can effectively sit there all day and wait for the deer to pop out. You got to do it at the right time of year though. That last week in November is like the best time to go hunting, or second best probably. All the juvenile animals are out. That one that I shot this trip was mucking around in the tea tree. Juvenile animal, just been kicked out by mum, and didn't have mum's experience, so it lollygagged around here for quite a while in the shade of that tea tree, and instead of just walking across the clearing like it was supposed to. If mum was there, that deer would have just gone virtually straight across, and I've got about 20 yards to shoot it. So they just pop out, walk, take a couple of nibbles, walk. In that case I'd have like, I don't know, 20 seconds to shoot it. Whereas this one, because it didn't have mum's guidance, was hanging around this in the shade of this hunk of tea tree for quite a while. Okay. We covered the fact that the wind, it solves the problem with the wind. It solves the problem with you moving and making a noise and disturbing magpies and all that sort of stuff, which can give you away. And we covered the fact that you've got a much bigger event horizon, so you can see more territory at the same time. And so that's why the tactic of sitting on the side of the hill is a lot better than actually doing spook and shoot, because if you're getting given away all the time going up the creek, because the wind is going backwards and forwards. How do I put this? The best thing to do is to pick a bit of real estate that you're going to go hunting in, and go back and back and back all the time in the same spot, and get to understand what time of year the deer are in certain spots. Like in this one, they're there in the spring, they're not there in February. In February the ground will be dry because they're in the middle of a drought. The grass doesn't grow, it's not lush and green, it's as hot as hell, and when you go there the grass is short, no deer shit, and when you go into the bush there will be no footprints either. So the deer are not there, so you don't need to go and try and hunt there in February, it's a waste of time. But in springtime, yeah, they're there. Towards the raw, or the end of the raw, they're there. And so you spend your time researching the area, trying to work out where the deer are, and then work out how you're going to hunt it. So in this particular one, there's a distinct hip in the ridge. So when I entered the clearing over there, I could see that hip in the ridge, covered in trees. You get to the middle clearing, I could still see that hip in the ridge. Get to this clearing over here, and I could still see this hip in the ridge. So what did I do? I went there with a saw, and Locke and I spent about 4, maybe 5 hours trimming up the local shrubbery, so that we've got sight lines going this way, that way, and that way. And yeah, so now 330 that way, 230, 270, 600 yards of event horizon. I can see that far, and anything that moves, I can take a pot shot at. And I don't have that issue with the wind. So while it does look lazy, it's not about picking the most exhausting way to get the deer. It's about picking the smartest way to get the deer. And with Locke's case, we've been there. This is the second trip. 5 days apart each time. It'll take a day to get there and a day to get back. And we had 1 day out for rain. So that's the only deer that he saw in those bottom clearings in basically 10 days. Okay. The principal reason was that allowed him to get it this time was that it had descending air, right, so katabatic wind, and the clouds were coming in the downstream position, so the air on that clearing was going downhill, and it wasn't blowing backwards and forwards. So he could stand there and not be detected. He's basically standing on the edge of the clearing. It's not in the trees, it's out in the open. And you think, the deer will see you, but they don't. They're blind. And that was an inexperienced deer that didn't have mum's help. So walked out and paid the price. So all the deer that were shot in this episode and the previous one are all young animals that have been kicked out by mum. And it's easy hunting in those conditions. The next easiest time is middle of February to the middle of March, and that's coming up. So get out there and go hunting.